Welcome, CIS 101. This is the first of our hands-on exercises coming out of our textbook, from our textbook. This is the one from Word Chapter 2, uh, the resume. I thought what I would do is just go ahead as I would in a traditional class and actually work my way through that same assignment with you. But instead of using the paper textbook that I do in class, try to bounce between our ebook and our assignment. Let's just see how well I do. Okay, I'm already on my T-Lab, so I'm going to select one of the courses, which opens up to our main page. If this is not your course is going to look much like this one. I will select Custom E-Text here at the top. Alright, first I'll need to go down and select using tables and templates. That says 2A. Try to move this over some so that we can see more of the document. There we go. And now there we have it, page 145, using tables and templates to create resumes. I'll go to the next page. We're going to be doing this one, 2A resume. It says projected activities 1 through 11. We will create a table to use as the format for a resume. The director of the Career Center, Mary Walker Hulsman, will use this model to assist students with building their resumes. Our completed document will look like the one below. There it is. Very spiffy. Project files we're going to need are a new blank Word document and WO2A underscore experience, which you should have downloaded from our Module 3 webpage for Word Chapter 2. If you didn't download it, pause this right here and go open up another window in your web browser and go back to our web page and download that file. Just remember where you put it. Come on back, and when you're back, we can get started. So we have WO2A experience, and when we're finished, we will save our document as our last name underscore first name underscore 2A resume. All right, well, that's clear enough. So let's go to the next page. Objective 1, create a table. A table is an arrangement of information organized in rows and columns, etc., etc., etc. More information right there for you. And that is, in fact, part of your reading assignment. The information contained in these little blurbs between our actual hands-on work represents the material that will be tested on in the end of chapter quiz. So you'll need to come back and review all this other information when we're not working on our hands-on assignment. Okay, first activity number 1, step 1, start Word and then click blank document. Well, let me go down to, I'm using Microsoft Windows 8, whatever web browser, whatever operating system you have, go open up Microsoft Word like I'm doing here. And bear in mind that as I'm working our way through this thing, if you find yourself getting behind, you can pause the video. It's something that the students can't do for me in class. You can pause the video and catch up and then start it back up again. Okay, here's Word, and there's that blank document that I'm supposed to open. All right, I've completed that. I'm going to go back down here to the bottom and click on my web browser again. Start Word and click a blank document. On the Home tab in the paragraph group, if necessary, click Show Hide to display the formatting marks. Okay, back down here to Word. Okay, here is the Home tab, and here is the paragraph group, and there is that Show Hide button. So I'll select that, and you notice that it puts a little character right there. You have a number of characters when you're working in a word processor that actually don't print. I mean, you don't see a space, for example. You don't see a tab mark. You don't see an end of paragraph marker. And by doing this, telling it to show all these hidden characters or non-printing characters, you're able to see everywhere that you put a space or a tab or a carriage return, which can be handy when you are actually working on a document that's doing some strange thing. All right, we've selected the Show Hide button. Let's go back to our web browser. And if the rulers do not display, click the View tab, and then in the Show group, click the ruler checkbox. All right, back to my Word document. I have a ruler, okay? I'm going to click the View tab anyway. And over here under Show, I see ruler is checked, and you would do the same thing. All right, very good. We're just moving right along here. We have finished the very first step of many, many steps that you're going to be doing during the course of this Module 3. Step 2, click the File tab, and then in the Backstage view, click Save As. In the Save As dialog box, navigate to the location where you're storing your projects for this chapter and create a new folder named Word Chapter 2. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Word document and I go to File. This is the Backstage view. I click Save As, okay. And then I'm going to click my computer, and then I'm going to Browse and go to Documents. And then I'm going to right click, New Folder, Word Chapter 2. I hit that, and there it is. There's the folder I've created. I'll double click on it, and I see that up here at the top I am in this PC Documents Word Chapter 2. Successfully done that one. Save the file in the Word Chapter 2 folder as last name underscore first name underscore 2A underscore resume. All right, back to Word. I'm going to select down here at the bottom. I'm going to use one of my favorite students' names instead of my own. Mouse underscore Mickey underscore 2A underscore resume. Of course, you would use your own last name and first name. Save. All right, we did that one. Go back to our browser. Now then, step number 4. In the Insert tab, in the Header Footer group, click Footer. And then at the bottom of the list, Edit Footer. Well, that's a lot of instructions, so I'm going to go back and go over here and do it again. Click Insert tab, Header Footer, and click Footer. There's Insert. Here is Header Footer, and there's Footer. There's a list, and down here at the bottom, Edit Footer. That's what it told us to do. Okay, let's go back and see what it tells us to do next. On the ribbon, in the Insert group, click Document Info and click File Name, and then at the right end of the ribbon, click Close Header. Okay. So basically what it wants us to do is have a footer at the bottom of our document that has the name of this file. So if I go up here like it said to look at the ribbon, this is called a ribbon, I see Document Info and I see File Name, and see there, it stuck the name of our file down there at the bottom. Now I'm supposed to come right here to Close Header and Footer, so I'll do that, and bingo, we've completed another step. That was step 4. Step 5. On the Insert tab, in the Tables group, click Table. In the Insert Table grid, in the 4th row, point to the 2nd square, and notice that the cells are bordered in orange in a 2x4 table. Okay, well, let's do that. We'll go back down here to Word. I come up here to Insert. There's that table thing. I'll click that. There's that grid, and it wanted me to select, did it say 4? So I selected those 4, and voila! It has inserted a table in there. Why are we inserting a table into something that we're using to create a resume? Because resumes tend to have separate columns with separate information in them. And just using spaces and tabs to try to line up multiple columns like that can be a really difficult thing to do. By using a table, the table handles a lot of that for you. So that's why we're using this table. Let's go back to our web page. So we've done that. That's not step 5 completed. Step 6. Click one time to create the table. Well, oops. Apparently I've already done that. Notice that the formatting marks in each end of the contains, you can read, and mark the right row indicates the row end. Okay. And then hit save. Okay, let's go back to our word processor. And we hit the save button right here. All right, done. We've saved a document. It's got a table in it. Let's go see what's next. That's the end of that page. Let's go to the next page. Activity number 2. So we've got 1 out of 11 activities done. Activity number 2, and there's some more information for you to study for your end of chapter quiz. And step number 1, with the insertion point blinking in the first cell, type objective in all uppercase and then press tab. Okay. So and you see my insertion point blinking right there. So I'm going to put my cap lock down and type objective and hit tab. And that put that over there, and it's tabbed me over to this side. Let's see what we're supposed to do next. Okay, step 2. Type technology, writing, and editing position in the robotics industry, comma, using research and advanced editing skills to communicate with customers. All right, let's go do that. Take the cap locks off. Didn't imagine I could be such a speed typist, did you? That's called video editing. You might also notice I've lost the hat. I had to take a little break there. And so we'll pick up at this point. Now, step 3. Press tab to move to the first cell of the second row. Type summary of qualifications and press tab. All right, let's just do that. So I hit the tab button, put my caps down, summary of qualifications. Hit tab again, take my caps off, and let's go back and see what we're supposed to type. Type the following, pressing enter at the end of each line except the last line. Okay, first line says 2 years experience in robotics lab for aerospace instruction team. 2 years experience. Enter. Excellent interpersonal and communication skills. Excellent skills. Enter. Proficiency using Microsoft Office. Enter. Proficiency using page layout and design software. Enter. Fluency in spoken and written Spanish. And without an enter. Talks about the default font, and it tells us to save. So let's go back to our document and hit save. Oh, there's that finishes activity number 2. Great. Press tab to move to the first cell of the third row and type experience and press tab. So I hit tab, caps down, experience, tab, caps off. Type the following, pressing enter at the end of each item including the last item. Instructional Lab Assistant, Florida Port Community College, St. Petersburg, Florida, July 2013 to present. Enter. Assist robotics professors with sophisticated experiments. Enter. Set up robotics practice sessions for aerospace instruction team. And that was the last one there, and we're to hit enter. Let's go to the next page. Be sure your insertion point is positioned in the second column to the left of the cell marker below instruction team. All right, well, let's see. I'm in the second column. I'm in the left of the marker below instruction team. Okay. On the Insert tab in the Text group, click the Object button arrow and then click Text from File. Navigate to your student files and select W02A Experience and then click Insert. So that's the file we downloaded from our website. So that's on the Insert tab, Text group, Object button, and Text from File. So let's go see what that looks like. We hit and search. Here's the text group. That is the Object button, so we'll pull that down. Text from File. Okay, let's go now. I saved mine in Downloads, so I'll click on Downloads. There's that file that we downloaded a while ago, and I'm selecting it, and I hit Insert, and whoa! It filled up our screen with some more experiences for this person. So obviously they had written up these experiences in another document, and rather than retype it all over again, they just inserted it from that other document. Well, we did it. 5. Press the backspace one time to remove that blank paragraph at the end of the inserted text. So that's where I am. I hit backspace and that paragraph has now been removed. 6. Press tab and move to the first cell in the 4th row and type honors and activities and then press tab. Alright, so I hit tab. There I am in that first column. Go to my cap locks, honors and activities. Hit tab, take the cap locks off, hit tab, and now let's see what's next. Type the following, pressing enter at the end of each item except the last one. Alright, so we don't have to hit the enter at the last one this time. Elected to Pi Tau Sigma Honor Society for Mechanical Engineers. Enter. Qualified for Dean's List, 6 semesters. Enter. Student mentor. Help other students in engineering programs. That was the last one, so we do not hit enter on that one. Save our document. So I'm going to go up here and I can either click File, Save, like so, or I can go up here and hit this little picture of a diskette. Okay, next page. Okay, activity number 4. Creating bulleted lists in a table. Step number 1. Press Ctrl Home. That's hold the Control key down and press the Home button to move to the top of your document, and then in the cell to the right of Summary of Qualifications, select all of the text. Go back here, I hold the Control key down, I press the Home button. That takes me up there, and in the cell to the right of summary of qualifications, I select that and select all text. Okay. On the Home tab, in the paragraph group, click Bullets. Okay, here's the Home tab. Here's the paragraph group, and there is the Bullets button. And we have some bullets. In the paragraph group, click Decrease Indent one time to align the bullets with the left of the cell. Alright, I still have them all selected. I come up here and this button says Decrease Indent. So I'll select that. Okay. Scroll as necessary so that you can view the entire Experience and Honors Activities section on your screen. With the bulleted list still selected, in the Clipboard group, double-click Format Painter. Now let me tell you here what this is about, or the difference of this. When you click the Format Painter button once, it adds a little paintbrush to your pointer, and whatever text you select, it applies the format that you happen to have selected to that text, and then it quits. This thing's telling us to double click the Format Painter command. That's going to turn on the Format Painter and leave it on until we turn it off. So let's try it. So I go back to my document. You see I still have it selected. I'm going to come down here and scroll. I can't really see all of those, both of those on one page, so I'll try to do as best I can. Here's the Format Painter, and I will double click, and you'll notice that I have a paintbrush. Let's see what our next instruction is. In the cell to the right of Experience, select the second and third paragraphs, beginning with Assist and Setup, to create the same style of bulleted list that you did in the previous step. Okay, I still have the two sections selected. I'll come down and see as much as I can. Come over here and double click the Format Painter button, and you see I have a paintbrush on my pointer. Assist, there's a paragraph, and Setup, there are the two paragraphs, and notice that it applied the bulleted list to those two, and I still have the paintbrush. Those apparently were the responsibilities we had for being an instructional lab assistant. What does it say to do next? In the same cell, under Assistant Executive Editor, select the three paragraphs that begin with wrote, responsible, and received to create another bulleted list. Okay, let's go back. Assistant Editor Today Newsletter. All right, wrote, responsible, and received. All right, got that. Applied those bullets. Scroll up a little bit more. Let's go see what's next. In the same cell, select the paragraph that begin with helped and setup to create the same type of bulleted list. There's helped and setup. Okay, got it. Now what's next? Press the Escape key to turn off the Format Painter. Click anywhere in the table to deselect the text and save your document. Okay. Now the Escape key is at the upper left hand corner of your keyboard. You can press that and it'll turn off this paintbrush, or I can just come back up here and click the Format Painter button again and do the same thing. And then select any place else, so I'll click right over here and I deselected everything in my document, and you see we've applied a bulleted list to several parts of our document. Now we'll come up here and hit our Save button again to save it as we were instructed. Scroll down. That's the end of that section. Let's go to the next page. Activity number 5. Changing the width of table columns and using AutoFit. Number 1, Control Home, click anywhere in the first column, and then on the ribbon under Table Tools, click the Layout tab. In the Cell Size group, notice the width box, which displays the width of the active column. Okay, let's go back to our document. Do a Control Home, hold our Control key down, press the Home button, and click anywhere in the first document. Layout, there's Table Tools, here's Layout, and under Cell Size there's the width, 3.25 inches. Okay, we've noticed it. See it? 3.25. Okay. Look at the horizontal ruler and locate the 1.5 inch mark, and then in the table, in any row, point to the vertical border between the two columns to display that double-headed arrow. Hold down the left mouse button, drag the column border to the left until the white arrow on the ruler is at approximately 1.5 inches on the horizontal ruler, and then release the left mouse button. Okay, so we go back to our document. So here's my ruler. There's 1.5 inches. Go to any one of these columns. Okay, there's that double-headed arrow. Click and hold. Drag it till approximately 1.5. And let it go. Okay, we did it. In the Cell Size group, click the width box down spin arrow as necessary to set the column width to 1.4 inches, and notice that the right border of the table moves to the right. Well, let's just see. I'm inside the column. I go back to layout. There's width. It says 1.56. Take it back to 1.4, and sure enough, it moved a little bit. Okay. Let's go back. In the Cell Size group, click AutoFit, and then click AutoFit Window to stretch the table across the page within the margin so that the right border of the table is at the right margin. Alright, Cell Size group, click AutoFit, and then click AutoFit Window. Okay. Go back to this, and if I look at this, it looks like I'm fairly close to the margins as it is, but let's just go back to the Cell Size group. Here's AutoFit, AutoFit Window, and it spread it out a little bit and changed the width of our table to go from margin to margin. That's great. Now let's see what's next. Save. So we hit the Save button up here at the top. Done that. Next. Alright, scroll down. That's everything on that page. Let's go to the next page. Using one-click row column insertion to modify table dimensions. Number 1, scroll to view the lower portion of the table. On the left border of the table, point to the upper left-hand corner of the cell containing honors and activities to display the one-click row column insertion button. Alright. Go down here. I'll scroll down the bottom there. Here's honors and activities. It says aim for this upper left-hand corner. Hey, there's that button. See it? There's that button. Let's go back. What? Click the button one time to insert a new row above honors and activities. Okay. So go back here. Go down here. Aim for this corner. There's that button. Click. Hey, we've added a new row. Now what? In this left cell of the new row, type Education and then press Tab. So we'll click over here on the left cell, hit the cap lock key, type Education, and Tab. Now, and take the cap locks off. Go down to our instructions. Type the following, pressing the Enter key at the end of each item except the last one. University of South Florida, Tampa, Florida, Bachelor of Science Mechanical Engineering, June 2015. Florida Port Community College, St. Petersburg, Florida, an Associate of Arts degree, Journalism, June of 2013. Okay. University of South Florida, Tampa, Florida. Enter. Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering, June 2015. Enter. Florida Port Community College, St. Petersburg, Florida. Enter. Associate of Arts, Journalism, June 2013. Alright, that's the last one of that one, and we're not supposed to hit the enter key after that one. Let's go back and see our next instruction. Save. Okay. Go back to our document, click the picture of a diskette. Next instruction. Next page. Activity number 7, merging table cells. Do a Control Home to move to the top of your document and click anywhere in the top row of the table. Okay. Go back here. I'll hold my Control key down. I'll press the Home button. I'm up there and I'm in the top row of my table already. Next. In the Layout tab, Rows and Columns group, click Insert Above. Okay. Back over here. Layout, Rows and Columns, Insert Above. There it is, right there. This is called a ribbon. Each ribbon is broken into groups. This is the Row and Columns group, and Insert Above. And we just inserted a row above that one. Be sure the 2 cells are selected. If necessary, drag across both cells to select them. On the Layout tab, in the Merge group, click Merge Cells. Okay. Well, my 2 cells are selected. In the Layout group, there's Merge Cells. And now, they took those 2 cells that we had and turned them into one big cell. Let's see what's next. With the merge cell still selected on the Home tab, in the Paragraph group, click the dialog box launcher to display the paragraph dialog box. Okay. Back up here, I have it selected. Here's the Home tab. Here's the Paragraph group. And this little button in the lower right hand corner of that group is called a dialog box launcher. So I'll click that, and there is the paragraph dialog box. Now what? On the indents and spacings tab in the lower left hand corner, click Tabs to display the Tabs dialog box. Okay. Here's indents and spacing, and down here at the bottom I see tabs. Click, and there is a tabs dialog box. Now what? Under tab stop position, type 6.5, and then under alignment, click the right option button, click Set, and then OK to close the dialog box. Ooh, okay. Well, there's the tab stop position, and by default your software has a tab on each row every half an inch. But if I put 6.5 in here like they've requested, then that is going to eliminate all of those half-inch tabs and just put one way over on the right hand side of my document. And by default you see it's left justified. and you can make them centered or right or whatever. So they want us to select right, so I'll click right, and now click set, and that has placed the tab there. And now I click OK, and that closed the dialog box. So we just inserted a tab marker at 6.5 inches, and you can see it right there, and you can also tell that it's a right tab because it looks like a backwards L. Now let's go back and see what we do now. Type Josh Hayes, hold the Control key down and press Tab. Alright. I'm supposed to type Josh Hayes. Josh Hayes. Now you know what Tab does. If you hit Tab, it takes you to the next cell, correct? You jump from one cell to the next cell to the next cell when you're in a table by using the Tab button. They want us to hold Control the key down and hit Tab. And that bounced us over here to the right hand side, but it kept us inside the same cell. It did not take us out of the cell. It just jumped us over to that tab marker that we set previously. Now what? Type 727-555-0313. 727-555-0313. There you go. Phone number. All right, fine. What is next? Press enter and then type 1541 Dearborn Lane, St. Petersburg, Florida 33713. Dearborn Lane. Enter. 1541 Dearborn Lane, comma, St. Petersburg, comma, Florida, comma, 33713. Hold Control key down and Tab, and that jumps us back over there underneath the phone number. Let's see, Dearborn Lane. Then press Control Tab, which we just did, and type jhayes@alcona.net, and then save your document. This is email address. jhayes@alcona.net, and then hit save. All right, there, with this thing starting to look like a kind of like a resume, Next page. Activity number 9. We're closing in on the end here, folks. We only have 11 activities. In the first row of the table, select the name Josh Hayes, and then on the mini toolbar, apply bold and change the font size to 16. Okay. Scroll back up here. There's his name. So I'm supposed to select his name. As soon as I select his name and let go, this mini toolbox appears. And I'm supposed to select bold, and I think it said 16. So I just blew it up. Now if the mini toolbar does happen to disappear, you've got the same options up here on the Home tab. All right, let's go back and check and see if I was right about that 16 font. Yep, I was. Under Josh Hayes, click anywhere in the second line of text which contains the address and email address. All right. So I'll click right there. I'm there. Okay, fine. On Page Layout tab in the Paragraph group, click spacing after spin arrow 3 times to add 18-point spacing between the first row of the table and the second row of the table. Okay, so I go up here to page layout, and here's spacing after I click it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and sure enough it added some space right there between the first row and the second row. Using the technique you just practiced, in the second column, click the last paragraph of every cell and add 18 points spacing after the last row. A border will be added to the bottom of the table and spacing will be needed between the last row and the border. Okay, so I'm supposed to go over here and click at the bottom of this one, run that one up to 18, then go to this one, run it up to 18, go to this one, run it up to 18, alright, this one, 18, and this one, 18. It's gotten to be a more pleasing appearance now and really is starting to look like a resume, isn't it? In the second row, point to the word objective, hold the left mouse button down, and drag downward in the first column to select all of the headings in uppercase, and then on the mini toolbar, click bold. Okay, so I go over here at the top, I click right there in front of objective, hold my left mouse button down and start dragging down, and look how it's selecting those titles. Got it, and then I get the mini toolbar and I hit bold. Okay, let's go down here and see what's next. In the cell to the right of experience, without selecting the comma, select Instruction Lab Assistance, and then on the mini toolbar click bold. Okay, that's stuff to experience. So let's go back up here. Here's experience, here's Instructional Lab Assistant. I'm supposed to select everything except for the comma in its title. Make that bold. Alright. In the same cell, apply bold to the other job titles, Assistant Executive Editor and Teacher's Assistant. Alright, Assistant Executive Editor, bold, Teacher's Assistant, bold. Okay. Scroll on down. In the cell to the right of education, apply bold to the University of South Florida, Tampa, Florida, and Florida Port Community College in St. Petersburg. Okay. University of South Florida, Tampa, Florida. I get that whole line. Bold. And Florida Port Community College, St. Petersburg. Bold. Okay. In the cell to the right of here we go. In the same cell, click anywhere in the line beginning with Bachelor, and on the page layout tab, paragraph group, click spacing after up spin arrow twice to add 12 points. Alright, the same cell beginning with Bachelor. There's Bachelor. And go back over here to page layout and click it twice. Okay. Alright, so that ran that up twice. That's good. In the cell to the right of experience, under Instructional Lab Assistant, click anywhere in the second bulleted item and add 12 point spacing after that item. In the same cell, repeat this process for the last bulleted item under Assistant Executive Editor. Experience Instructional Lab Assistant. Okay. Here it is, Instructional Lab Assistant. Apparently I'm supposed to do it right here, up twice. And then I'm supposed to do it again right here, up twice. Oh yes, looking very easy to read. Let's go to the next page. Scroll to the top of your document and save your document. Scroll to the top and hit the save button. Alright, next. Activity number 10. Modifying table borders using spacing before. Scroll is necessary to view the top margin area above the table, and then point slightly outside the upper left hand corner to display the table move handle. Okay. Alright, I go up to the top of the table. There it is. Table move handle. That's called a move handle. All they told us to do was look at it. Let's see what we're supposed to do now. With the table move, with the pointer, move handle pointer, click one time to select the entire table, and notice that row markers at the end of each row are also selected. Okay. So I'm supposed to come up here and click that, and that select the whole thing, including the markers at the end. Fine. Scroll on down. On the ribbon under Table Tools, click the Design tab, and in the Borders group, click the Borders button arrow and click No Borders. Okay. Go back up here. Here's the Table Tools. Here's the Design. Here's the Borders button arrow, and this says No Borders. So now, if you print this thing out, you won't see any borders around any of these cells, and it'll just look like somebody has done a nice job of lining up a resume. Alright, now let's see what we're going to do now. Press Ctrl P, which is the keyboard shortcut to view the print preview, and notice that the borders displays, and then press back to return to your document. Okay, Ctrl P. I told you what it was going to look like, and it does. Alright, let's go back to our instructions. With the table selected, on the Design tab in the Borders group, click the Border button arrow, and then at the bottom of the Borders gallery, click Borders and Shading. Okay. Back up here, I'm in the Design group, button arrow right there, and here is Borders and Shading right there. And that brings up a little graphic that shows you some things that you can do with a border. In the Borders and Shading dialog box on the Borders tab under Settings, click Custom. Under Style, scroll down about 1/3 of the way and click the style with a thick upper and thin lower line. Okay. So I'm supposed to click Custom, and then I'm supposed to scroll this thing down until I see a thick upper. There's thick upper and thin lower. I did it. In the preview at the right, point to the top border of this and click one time. Alright, this is preview right here, see? There's the top, click, and I just applied that border to the top. Okay. Scroll down. Number 8. Under Style, click the opposite style, thin upper line and thick lower. Okay. That is the thick upper, and here you are with the thin lower upper and a thick lower. So I'm here and I click, and I just stuck it at the bottom. That's cool. Now what? Next page. Click OK. Click anywhere to cancel the selection, and then notice that there's only a small amount of space between the upper border and the first line of text. Alright, OK. Click anywhere, and there is just a small amount of text between the upper border and Josh Hayes. Click anywhere in the text Josh Hayes, and in Page Layout tab, spacing before, run that up to 18. Okay. So here's Josh Hayes. I come up here to Page Layout, and this is the before button. That one we've been clicking the after, and run it up to 18. And now we've just added a border above Josh Hayes, or there's more space above Josh Hayes. Do a Control Print Preview, to Control P for a print preview. Hold my Control key down, hit P, and look at that spiffy looking resume that we have just created. I'll hit cancel. Alright. Save. Go back to Word, click the Save button. Let's go to the next page. Presenting a Word document online, we are not going to do that. So that we're skipping activity number 11. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, that we are through. So let's go back to our document, take another look at it. It looks just downright spiffy. We can go over here to Home if we like and turn off those hidden characters so that it looks normal. We can do a Control P and see what it's going to look like. We could actually print it out, but we won't. But what we will do is save it. And now we have finished. So what we need to do now is remember where we put it. We put it in our, what was it, Word Chapter 2 folder. We go ahead and close this. We go back to our MyUM. Log back in. Go to our course. Select our course. Go to Module 3. Here's Module 3. Go to Microsoft Word. We have been working in Resume, so we'll click on 2A Resume. We scroll down to the Resume project. There it is right there. We do this, and right here is a link where this was what we've just done, correct? We saved that under our last name, first name, 2A Resume. Here's the link. We go here, click that, which takes us to the coursework page, to this assignment, so that we can upload it for credit. Now we had finished that. The handout was part of this one. And the next thing is your assignment online. So now you go back to my IT Lab, and there is another assignment out there entitled Word Chapter 2 Grader Project First Assignment, and it is like the one we just did. And you will do that. The difference is that they don't tell you how to do it. They told us how to do it in the book when we were doing that, but they're not telling us how to. They won't be telling you how to do it there. You will have to figure out how to do it, or go back to your book and look under projects 2A or 2B to find the instruction. Everything that they're going to ask you to do, they had an instruction in one of those two projects on how. So you will go do that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this helps you. And so good luck to you.